Okay, ready? 1,
Yeah.
2.
What are we saying?
We're to say hey.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3.
What'd you do this week?
What did I do this week? It was Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I completely forgot it. Okay, so
Me too.
I have a story. All right, so I went over to my friends' houses. No, it was a single person's house. I went over to my friend Quintus. That's her Elias. When I went over to her house with my other friend Vanessa, and for Valentine's Day, because we're all single, which is sad, but it's okay. We have fun together. I introduced them to the movie Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which, if you have seen it, then you know that it is the best movie in all of creation. Not quality-wise, just it's like a horror comedy, but it's not really horror, it's just mostly comedy and stupidity, and it's just wonderful.
Never seen it.
It's great. Yeah, okay, so I'll explain it.
Okay.
So Tucker and Dale versus Evil is basically these two like hillbilly pals go to their summer home that one of them just bought to like fix it up, and it's like a really sketchy home in the woods, and this like random group of like college friends are all like camping somewhere near it. I don't know. They go swimming in this lake while the two hillbillies are fishing in their boat like across the lake, and there's like a bunch of trees and stuff and some rocks. And so one of the girl from the college group like jumps off this rock or slips off and like hits her head and like passes out, but her college friends don't see, and so the hillbillies are like, we have to rescue her, she's gonna die and drown. And so like they pull her out of the water. They're like waving to the college friends like, hey, we got your friend. And which is not a good choice of words, because they flipped out and like, oh my gosh, they're kidnapping our friend. And so they like all run away. And the hillbillies are like, why are your friends running away? So basically, the horror movie is like the college students all think that these hillbillies kidnapped and are like torturing their friend. And so they're like trying to like get the friend back, and it's like all this like horror and scary. But then the hillbillies are like, why do these college kids keep like chasing at us? And the college kids keep dying in random ways. Like a hillbilly has like a chainsaw because he's like cutting some wood, and he cuts into a beehive accidentally. And the bees like start chasing him, so he's like running through the woods trying to get away from these bees with like the chainsaw just whacking away. The college kid is like running in the woods screaming because he sees the like hillbilly with the chainsaw screaming, and they're just like running, and it looks like the hillbilly's chasing him, but then like they end up like running side by side, and the hillbilly like looks at him and is like, what? And the college kid is looking at the hillbilly and like, what? And the college kid, he runs right into this like tree. But it's not like a tree like running like this. It's like a broken tree where it's like split off, and so like it's like pointing this way, and so he just like impales himself and dies.
It just got dark.
Stupid, because they all just keep dying in random ways that don't make any sense. And the one college girl that they rescued is just like, I don't understand what's going on. She's like flipping out, but they ended up falling in love. Like one of the hillbillies in the college girl, which was really funny too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a twist.
So we watched that, and my friends loved it, of course.
That's the best Valentine's Day movie.
I know, right? It was.
So
I mean, it had at least
appropriate.
one romantic part in it. They fell in love, right?
I mean, impaling and stuff.
Death, yeah.
Death.
And then we watched White Chicks, which I'm not going to explain that one, but that one's a great movie too. What did you do on Valentine's Day, Jessica?
I went to my chemistry lab. It was kind of
I bet there was a lot of chemistry. Oh, I hate myself.
In chemistry, we're supposed to we alternate every week between doing our lab report and our actual lab, and every week our group changes. And so the professor will come around on report days he buys these bags of toys from Toys R Us, and you gotta reach in and draw out a toy, and whoever gets the same toy as you, that's your group for the next week. You're supposed to sit in your group while you're reviewing the papers. Mm-hmm. And so last week there were 2 people in my group. One of them is a boy from Israel, and one is a girl that I've known since preschool. And so the girl that I've known since preschool, she had to go to another group because they were missing a group member. So it's just me and the boy from Israel. And half the time I can't understand what he says. So I'm just like, oh, Yeah. And so we're like reviewing the papers together, and like we finished like really quickly. And last week when we did our lab, he and I finished really quickly too. And so then we're just like awkwardly sitting with like 20 minutes left of the rest of the people reviewing. We're like, so. And so then the professor walks around with his bag of toys, and he like comes over to our station, and he's like, your turn. And he goes, ladies first. And I reach in and I pull out a green sea turtle. And so then he walks over to the boy and he holds it out, and he reaches in and pulls out a green sea turtle. And so then the professor goes, this isn't fair, and like walks away angrily. But so now he's in my group next week.
You always have him in your group.
And then we finished our like lab setup really quickly, like 30 minutes before the rest of the class. And so the professor's like, well, see you next week. And so we walk out the door together, and then we're like walking the same way. I don't know what to say to him. Yeah, it's just awkward.
Wow,
like,
that was a fun Valentine's Day.
And there was one awkward part where like he like pulled out the green sea turtle, and I was like, hey, again. And he was like, ha, meant to be. And I was like, ha.
Bye.
That was my Valentine's Day. But we have such interesting lives.
And, Yep. Chemistry.
Chemistry.
Frenzy Filmers.
Oh,
That's our name, right?
Yeah.
I thought you did pretty good.
I thought too.
Grace!
And Jessica. And Pepper. Cat.